Strawberry, yes. I don't know. Mm-mm. Right. Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Hello, Anders. Good to see you. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. Let's get this started. The lighting is a little weird because one of the lights is chosen to jump off the network. Why? Who knows? Uh, had a nice little update to the software today, so hopefully it's a good thing. We'll find out. Try one more thing with this light real quick. They moved my cheese. Let me try. Let me try the phone app. Also, need to check and see if you can hear me on YouTube. So it's not getting enough bandwidth. That's not good. Uh, my mouse is crummy too. How's it sound? Um, well, it stopped. That's not good. There we go. I do hear it though. Okay, so now fan turned on and turn on the other light because it's also next to the fan. Might not need the phone app. Studio. Oh, that other light is not online. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Now, if we have the browsers, let's go on over to our presentation view. Start the collab cam so that the and friends can join us. They choose. Here. So, okay. Next up, we need the window. Where'd you go? There you go. And we're going to get our note there. Oh, let's go to the top. We can't go to the top? Fine. We'll drag our mouse all the way up to the top. And copy the on. Come on, paste and go. There we go. I'll share with you guys. So we're going to go to presentation view instead of main title view. And to find our browser. There. And we talked about the Azuzu story a long time ago. So let's see, the actual options they give us are should say something about X. Before I share it, I just got a message. Is that from Anders? Uh, yep, Anders was asking if I was going live today. Yes, totally am. Uh, let's see. Back to the windows. Uh, maybe it's the one called X. Yes, it's the one called X. All right, done. Shape it up a little bit. Come on, come on. I think with the updates for this software, they should say, "Hey, after your show, let's go ahead and update you," rather than "It's time to update now." But perhaps an even better way to do it would be to see how far out of date you are. Because if you're only a week out, then it's no big deal. Live on X2, perfect. Thank you. And uh, about solar. Okay, so let's pull it back up again. Refresh action. So Sawyer sharing with us, rooftop solar just set a new record by accounting for an all-time high of 80.5% share of Western Australia's main grid. That is sharp. We also saw how many power walls and competitors were being deployed as well. That's astounding. The huge impact of rooftop solar has already been caused, or has already caused the market operator in the state and, sorry, yeah, market operator and the state government to sign contracts with a fleet of big battery developers, including Tesla, rooftop solar in the middle of the day and re-inject it into the grid in evening peak demand times. So that's a good idea. And as we saw with the first couple deployments that Tesla put out, they made money quick. And who doesn't like money? All right, what's next? We've got even my scrolling is not doing so hot. So let's stay in Australia for a minute and let's go on over to what we were just talking about with the investment in large batteries. Got some more batteries for just a moment after that. I have a link to the paragraph. I need a link to the link. There we go. All right, so Callie is talking about mind blown. Alex posted that news, Australian news. The world's biggest wind and solar project is planned for a remote desert region of Western Australia. Has logged its application for state environmental approvals with a mind-boggling 70 gigawatts of capacity, as big as the country's main grid. So we've seen small islands take their diesel generators offline and go solar and battery and wind and other renewables. This will be the world's largest island, the continent-sized island, going green, going renewable, which is incredible considering how strong the coal industry is in Australia. So this is good to see. Hopefully they get their approvals, and hopefully they're able to bring this thing on in phases or even smaller than phases. Just like as the panels come online, we got a row done, turn it on. We got a row done, turn it on. That would be cool. Here's the battery. It's plugged in. It's commissioned. Done. That would be sweet. But we will see what happens with this. But that is sharp. 70 gigawatts. Yeah, give you a little something for that, Gally. And then we've got, let's stick on the renewables and the batteries, and let's go to a milestone. Is it a milestone or is it I think it's a milestone. Giga Nevada is now making 1,000 power walls per day. Not just run rate, but, well, it might just be run rate, but either way, 1,000 power walls per day. So that's 7,000 power walls a week. Assuming they have just one shift and it runs all week. That is cool. Yeah, exactly. So let's zoom in on this article from Tesla North and see if we get any details on this. Another cool one. Copy link. Okay, it's going. There we go. I thought it wasn't going. Tesla Nevada team now producing 1,000 fireballs daily. Musk celebrated achievement, saying these compact home batteries are crucial for keeping. I like that they got them on the. They appear to be on the installer dollies, but they don't see the handles up top. Like the It must be display stands, but they look like the bottoms of the installer dollies. Let's see. Compact home batteries are crucial for keeping homes and businesses powered during outages. You can cut ties with traditional utilities. I mean, you can. You don't have to cut ties with traditional utilities. Uh, you don't even need solar to have the batteries, but once you got it, why not? With the Powerwall, users can rely on stored energy from solar panels or the grid, ensuring electricity flows during blackouts or peak demand times. Let's see. For those who prefer fully off-grid setup, pairing Powerwall with solar panels and Tesla Starlink, fully off-grid, Tesla Starlink can make the impossible or make it possible to power a home without any connection to traditional utilities. This is true because you can get your water from a well, and if you have septic, you don't need sewer. That's going to be an expensive setup, especially if you have seasons, because in your hemisphere's wintertime, you get shorter days, and that means you will have an overcapacity. So what I would probably do is find a place where it's not illegal to disconnect from the grid, but they do have some sort of buyback program, perhaps. Or if it is a place that's illegal to disconnect from the grid, you got to go so far out that there is no electricity when you get there, and then that you're golden. Let's take a look here. We got a comment from. What's up, Marcus? Good to see you. Yeah, a high voltage performance racing team. Yes. Let me do a little something here real quick, and uh, this and close that. Go here. Then I'm send this. There. Dan, got somebody to buy an EV? Okay. And yeah, so this is gonna be awesome right here. I like that the new Powerwall is so much more powerful than anything in the past, and that you don't need more than really two or three of them for an average house. I don't even think you need three for most houses. What you'd really want to do is get one or two units, and then the extra battery with four expansion packs. But always expensive. That's a lot of power. But depending on your needs, and like I said, wintertime, that could be necessary. So one strategy you might want to consider when you look to I recommend you look at when you try to go off grid or solar or uh, any changes like this is you want to look at making sure that your insulation is good. Make sure that your home has a good um, ability to retain the temperatures that you put into it. Like if you want it cooled, that the heat will stay out, and if you want it warm, that the heat will stay in. And you want to look at any of your loads to see if they can change. If you've got a 30-year-old dryer, yeah, it might still work, but is it the most efficient? Dryer is probably a bad choice because you're just dumping heat, and they'll still time though with our all-in-one heat pump. it uses a lot less electricity than our previous dryer because that was just straight 220, 240, and this one is a 120 plug with a heat pump and a fan, really large fan. So yeah, so I guess that's not terrible to say a 30-year-old dryer. You look at your cooking situation. Are you on methane or are you on? Well, I guess coming off methane would add to your electrical load, but would clean up your indoor air. But if you're on the old coily Q burners versus something like an induction top uh, with the appropriate cookware, that can save you a lot of energy as well. It can still draw, but you won't be drawing as long or as hard. Like to boil water on induction is just a few minutes versus like anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes on the coil EQs, probably longer. And the gas is somewhere in between, but you waste so much gas on a quick run because it's all going around the pot and then up the flue. Then you want to look at your maintenance loads, what it takes to just keep the place running. You've got all the stuff that's just plugged in and clocking, as well as the stuff that needs to be running, like your HVAC and any like security systems, that sort of thing. As you can bring all of that down, you'll have to spend less on panels and batteries, and it depending on what you get your equation balanced, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, this place when they bought it this way, they re-insulated the attic. They put in no, I did the solar attic fan, but they redid the insulation in the attic and the house. They took out all the incandescent lights and put in various LEDs, which were gone when I got here. Uh, and they made sure that the colors of the LED were right for the task. So like uh, in each room they had different um, white balance for what the task at hand was. Like for cooking and makeup, it was like kind of just searing white, and for some of the more wind down rooms, it was kind of like more towards yellow. But they used a lot less electricity than the lights that came with the place. And then when I came in and added an EV to it, I had to add a whole another array of panels to knock that out. But it did a good job. Oh, where did our review go? There it is back. Interesting. The um the only thing it didn't really account for was work from home. So we need more panels again, but it is what it is. Actually, we don't necessarily need more panels. What we've got now, we've got a bunch of microinverters, but it was more expensive to get at the time a microinverter to match the size of the panels we have. So we still got an overhead that we could, if we went to either new microinverters or something like the Powerwall with its central string inverter with some power optimizers. No, we don't need any power optimizers because we don't have any shade up there, so we would just need to put it on a string inverter. Uh, that would unlock probably another. Where are we at? We're at three and change, and we're pulling 250 out of them. So it's 27. Let's just say it's 50. I know it's more than 50, but let's say it's 50. So we can get another 1.35 kilowatts out of the whole system just by putting a new inverter on the existing setup. So we wouldn't need to add as many panels to make up for the difference. And then there's also the option of upgrading the panels because these ones are 2016 and 2018, so 6 years and 10. Sorry, 6 years and 8 years old. They last 25, 30. They're warranted for. I think these ones are warranted for 25. The warranty of solar is anywhere from 25, oh, sorry, 20 to 30 years, typically. And they, just like Just like the electric batteries on the cars, they'll degrade over time, not as quickly as batteries, but they should still be producing over what the equipment can handle converting from my setup. So it is something to consider. And then our little third party battery setup right there, we've got it plugged into the panel box, and it'll take over if power goes out. And here's where the power factor from the power walls comes in. Our battery setup is not powerful enough to run the air conditioner, and it's missing one room in the house. And and because the heat is gas, it can run the heat. But what we'd want to do there is probably, uh, if we stay here, we'd probably want to get. I think one power wall would get us through as far as being able to handle any one of the loads at a time. But we'd want one and two batteries, or two and one of them having an extra battery, depending on how that wiring works out. Just as to get the air conditioner back up and running, and then that would allow us to switch out the air conditioner for a heat pump, and then still have heat in the winter should something happen. And then maybe add another 6 to 8 panels. There's room for it, but do we want to invest more in this place? Because once we're out, no tenants would probably use the amount of electricity that we use. And this coming year, our power purchase agreement uh, runs to an end, and we'll have to sign a new contract with the new. And it might not be favorable to having excess electricity. The next county over, there's a electric company. They're like a co-op. They charge you if you over supply them with electricity, which is just mind boggling. Like, hey, you're getting free electricity and you're gonna charge me for it. That's ridiculous. But it is. Yeah. So do consider going electric, and if you do it now before the administration change, if you do it by the end of the year, there's money for it. There might be money for it next year, but I wouldn't guarantee there'd be money beyond that. But it can make a significant difference if you add battery plus solar, and or even just a battery. If you can swing it, take a look. Especially, we got coming at the end of the year. Some people do have tax money, have money to burn. Otherwise, it'll be wasted for taxes. Look into that as well. So our next item is, where did my notes go? Oh, there they are. All right. So our next item is, let's go talk a little bit about Rivian. Well, let's think about what RJ Scaringe says. Uh, RJ says that uh, an urgent memo to confront the threat of existential climate change. So, sounding a little bit like the Tesla CEO used to sound like before he got political. Turn on blue, turn on light, turn on blue and light. Yeah. Okay. You want to say hi? Right there in front of you. See? Oh, they're watching us. They're talking. Yeah. You can't see. Yeah, they're watching us and they're talking back on the messages. See on the side of the messages. Yeah. Hello. Done. Okay. Uh, done. 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 Down. Done. No, we're not messing with a robot today. You can talk to mommy or what? Yeah. You want mommy to wiggle? Mommy to play Legos? Go play Legos. I love Legos. Oh, you want her to turn Spider Man on? Ah, take off this. Then I can't hear it so that they can hear us. Yeah, in a little bit. You want mommy's Echo to turn on Spider Man? Um, she has Google in that room, and I don't know if it'll listen to you. I can turn on Spider Man from here for you. Hold on. Let me find my phone. Okay, let's do. What do we want to do to get you some Spider Man? One, two, no. No? Yeah, I put it in there for you. I'm gonna do it. I need TV. There it is. I'm doing it right now. No. Do you want it or not want it? You don't want it? Okay. You don't have to see it. All right. So here we're going to find Spider Man. Spider Man. Cartoon spiders? No. Come on. I can't come on. Let's do. All right. Let's do some Spider Verse for you. Play, and then we'll hit pause. I found Plex for Android mobile. Yes, you did. SMS9 2821. And we'll put it in the living room. And then from the living room. All right, there you go. Spider Man's in the living room, baby. Good look. Mama, turn off TV. That's what it said. Mommy. It says it turned on Spider Man. It doesn't have any more control. Try it out. It's usually when you cast it still has the play controls and it's just kind of gray. It's not rotating or anything. It's not on. All right, let me try again. Um, yeah, it says it's playing. It's not on. It's not? Yeah. Sure. It's on. Yeah, I don't see it here. Oh, I gotta hit this allow. And yeah, get back. Play again. I've never used PlexCast before. Controls now. And it says it's playing. No more spinning of the gray screen. Well, she's out there. Mommy can handle it. Sorry, something went. Oh, she said sorry, something wrong. She wants to watch Spider Man. Okay, so I'll figure out casting later, but mommy's got it now. So Rivian CEO issues urgent memo to confront the existential threat of climate change. And as I said, that sounds like another CEO who went super political on us. Let's. Oh, this one doesn't want to play nice now. Are we still online? Oh boy, everything's frozen. I made the computer mad by touching the phone, huh? There we go. All right, now it says excellent connection. Interesting. I guess push enter. There we go. Yep, push enter. All right, so let's see what it says. It says that now's the time to act on climate change to protect the planet for our kids and their kids. Agreed. Uh, Rivian is more than just another automaker. It's not even your average EV maker. The company's entire purpose is to create products and services that help our planet transition to carbon neutral energy and transportation. Good move. Talk about how they can also plow through 3 feet of water, rock climb 100% grade, and take off quicker than your average sports car. But Rivian's doing more in the background. They sell not just selling EVs, they're uh, trying to build the kind of future our kids deserve, and that's admirable. I still like these new wheel covers, wheels, whatever. The Aero wheels. Oh man, we saw one of these Rivian vans on the back of a delivery truck uh, the other day, earlier this week. It was um, it was in the vicinity of the Mercedes vans plant, so Mercedes could have bought one to rip it apart, but I don't think they did. It was unwrapped, so it was just white, but it wasn't the larger style that we see that Amazon orders with the two panels in the middle. It was the shorter single panel in the middle model. But what I'd like to see is see that van running around town versus torn asunder by Mercedes. Um, but it might not have been Mercedes because there's a lot of like upfitters and van parts. Like this is in your factory. There's support as we learned with China. Like, there's a reason why we can't move some of our stuff around is because the support isn't ready to move as well. But anyway, uh, back on topic. They're adding their portfolio of clean energy projects and expanding their wind, solar, and hydro operations across the U.S. They have a utility scale solar project in Tennessee. That's awesome. And Starfire Solar on a former coal mining site in Kentucky. So that's kind of cool. So we're seeing them do stuff that we see out of other EV makers as well. Just a little less flashy about it. Perhaps they can also have something for the home, something for your business, not just the vehicles. Let's see. I know building EVs alone is not enough. On Tuesday, he issued an urgent call to action, saying that now must be the time to make history. We're running out of time to not necessarily to survive, but to meet our goals of minimizing our impact. And if we miss all of our goals, the planet will survive. We won't. Strange says that we are alive during one of the most significant moments in recorded history. Ooh, I hit the desk with my elbow. Ouch. Society has advanced greatly over the past few hundred years due to new technology and industrial capabilities, producing capabilities that were previously unimaginable. However, the same technology is also destroying the only home we have, slowly but surely. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have to be, but yeah. Growing up as a car enthusiast, Scaringe loved every aspect of them, from the idea of driving to the freedom they could provide. As he got older, he realized that cars are as important as they are, or sorry, are as important as they were for the progress of society, were simultaneously the root of the impact that we were having on our climate. I was talking with somebody on X last night and pointed out that a coworker of mine, his dad, not a current coworker, his dad was born and went to school before cars were a thing. And he passed shortly after some of the first space shuttles went up. To see that kind of change is just incredible. And even before the car, we were messing with the air. We were belching out coal and Yeah, even still oil at that time, and we only got worse with it. We did make attempts at reining it in, emission standards, clean water, clean air, rivers that don't catch fire anymore. But yeah, all right, I look frozen. It says excellent connection. Can you guys hear me? Okay, it's scrolling still. Maybe I need to reset the camera. Yeah, I'm gonna reset the camera because it's still scrolling even though I'm uh, static there. Let's HDMI capture. There it is, face cam. Let's turn it off. Well, I guess that's not off. Uh, I guess we can change the resolution. That'll force a reset. Uh, Not the way I expected to, but yeah, it worked. So anyway, uh, so when this man was a child, rivers would catch fire because we would just dump stuff into them, and then something would make them spark, and they would just burn for a week or two. And I'm glad to see we don't do that anymore. Let's take a search on the burning rivers after. For those who don't believe me, mostly younger folks, we will take a look at that after we get done with the Scavenger's open letter here. Yeah, I mean, oh, he made a video too. I'll watch this later. Thought comment. Uh, really. I mean, he's not the only person at the company. It's a good product. I understand where you're coming from. Uh, you can have companies such as Rivian and Lucid thus far, and this could always change. These two companies seem to be run by quality people who care. They seem to have some type of moral and ethical blood running through their veins. Because of this, I commend them both, and there's a high probability that my next vehicle will be from them. And that's a good stance. I like Lucid more because everything they do seems to be laser focused on efficiency. Yeah, yeah. They offer a sedan with smaller sedan. Is hitting the right buttons with me, other than they only offer SUVs and trucks. That's what sells them. They're a new company. They want to stay in business. They started with a big SUV and truck, and they're shrinking it down and shrinking it down. Uh, they're gonna have something Subaru like next. I don't know what I gotta do to keep this camera running. Um, Let me try resetting the camera software. There it is. Clicking on it, just clicking on it made it work. Um, but now let's go back to us. Oh, 60. No, no wonder. I don't need 60 hertz. I need 30 hertz. And it took up the browser view. Um, but yeah, I'm only broadcasting in 30, so I don't need 60. Come on. As as we went live, there was a fire truck screaming through the neighborhood, and then a policeman just went by slowly. Let me look and see. While I wait for this clicker to let me click the drop down. Oh, they're gone. All right, there it is. The drop down. We want 4K 30. We don't want 1080p 60. Found my sweater. All right, it adjusted. We're still moving. Let's go back to you guys. Come on, you can do it. All right, so I think I'm gonna start restarting the computer on some days. That doesn't always work, but I think it has a better chance. So anyway, as I'm saying, SUVs, they're a smart tactic. They're electric SUVs, they're not as bad as regular SUVs. Why is this thing not on multi-stream? Come on, multi-stream. Oh, I can chat back on multi-stream now. That is a cool upgrade. Testing multi-chat. That was worth being a couple minutes late to the show for. Yeah, I can set it on all. I can set it on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. So that sounds to me like it's not going to send to X. But it's a lot easier to keep my YouTube preview and an X window open than ever. So send. We'll see what happens. It probably it pops up here. Well, twice. uh, it makes sense that it would pop up there. So what if I can set multi-chat as the default now? Interesting. But back to Rivian. Uh, both of which have been proven over and again. In the past, I've suggested Rivian should bring out a higher sitting sedan, think AMC Eagle of years ago. Well, that's exactly what you're getting with the third gen Rivian. So just wait a little bit. But I was met with others saying the Rivian is not a car type company, and people wanted to buy SUVs and trucks. Oh gosh, I'd buy Rivian for many reasons if they offered a sedan. I don't think they're going to do a sedan, but that Gremlin thing, that's pretty darn cool. I think it was the 3X they called it. Buy Rivian for many reasons. They offer the people. Which is my point. If Rivian really cares and wants to make a difference, they must offer more than just huge SUVs and trucks. Good for you. They're already doing that. They're a small company, and it takes time to get there. All right, so I was hoping for more of that title, but I don't want to play the video. Go to Rivers on Fire. All right, so apparently this was big in the 70s. So yeah, this man would have been a worker by then, for sure. Because if he was in school when there were no cars, and he died after the shuttle, the river's on fire in the 70s. The Cuyahoga River in Ohio was one that did it. I think there's one in Chicago. And the Cuyahoga caught fire at least a dozen times, according to the Smithsonian Magazine. Rivers that have caught on fire, World Atlas. Yeah, the Cuyahoga has been videoed. Sorry, I saw Kennedy. The Cuyahoga has been videoed on fire. We'll go ahead and close the search because we don't really need the rest of it. It still happens occasionally today, but it's more of a chemical spill sort of situation than just that we've been dumping and dumping. Um, we will do next after the Smithsonian loads. We'll do some more SUVs, electric. Rivers have caught on fire. The Wangzhou in Xinjiang, China, as recently as 2015. Fire reached 16 feet high and consumed a nearby wooden rail and 3 cars that were parked on top of on the side of the river. Wow. The Rouge River in Detroit. Yeah. You got the Rouge plant. Yeah, there's a lot of industry there. Let's see. It was one of the most polluted rivers in the U.S. before uh, the famous fire of 1969. Company, the refinery, waste treatment plants, and other industries in Detroit. Most of these industries were the major cause of the Rouge pollution. Due to pollution and spillage of oil and chemicals, the river caught fire in 1969 around the area of Detroit, sending billows of thick smoke into the air. A nearby oil storage tank had exploded in the process, and the cause of the fire was not established immediately because nobody wanted to pay for that crap. I can only imagine what the Detroit reaction was like, but depending on which way the wind was blowing that day, I can also imagine that caused us trouble with Canada. Uh, they are very much like us, but they also don't want to be breathing in our smoke for something they didn't do. So I know today that would be uh, a calamity to deal with, but I'm just curious what it was like. Was that 50 years ago? Yeah, 50-ish, almost now. Anyway, the Buffalo River in the U.S. Uh, wow, Schuylkill, Schuylkill River in Philly. Yeah, that's like one fire for Buffalo. Oil leak in 1892. At least two in Philly. Lake Yoga River, the one we just talked about, 13 times that we know of. Um, Ballinger Lake in Bangalore, sorry, uh, caught fire in 2015. So is the Kyoga the only one to catch fire? No. Here's just six that we know of. Late 1800s, 1952 and 69, 2015, 1969, 1968, 2014. That's got to be a sight to see. Just, you typically put out fire with water. There it is, the water's on fire. Hmm. So as I was saying, electric SUVs. Hyundai's first ever three-row electric SUV is also its first large SUV. It'll debut on the 21st, so sometime this week. We'll come back and look at it then, but until then, look at this now. I need to clean the screen on this camera. Like when it's a black screen, I see like static, and that static is dust. But it is the screen that's facing like this is the angle, so it will collect. It'll have a lounge-like interior. Let's go to Inside EVs and check it out. Copy link, paste it, go. While that loads, I will. Oh, my connection isn't private. We're playing this game again, Inside EVs. I thought you fixed it. It's probably the Motor One network because Inside EVs just had a major overhaul. Okay, we'll come back to it. Um, in the meantime, Tesserati's going to tell us about. Oh, it's recall time. We're going to talk about a recall. I think this is our only recall this week, but I don't know that for sure. Wow, everything's just slow right now. Even my scrolling in the notebook is like, I'll think about it and get back to you. Is there anything I can close? Uh, Come on. There's probably some stuff I can close. Let me see what I can do about this here. All right. I'm ringing. Okay. Um, well, I don't need to worry about PDFs right this moment. I've got one I need to read, but I don't need to worry about it right this moment. Okay, one's gonna upset me when I read it. Text edit isn't going to use too much resources, but we can close text edit. We're not writing a document right now. The Mac Notepad. And anything else open that doesn't need to be. We don't need email right now. Okay. Oh, why is Spotify open? There we go. Hopefully things get a little smoother here in a second. And not messaging anybody right now. Not on the Apple platform. Okay, back to you guys. Got a little bit smoother. So anyway, this is not a over-the-air software update recall. This is a bring it in recall. Uh, but it's not the whole fleet this time. There are some Cybertrucks that the inverters will go into a safety mode and just turn off, no torque. And because of that, NHTSA wants Tesla to change the inverters out. So what they'll probably do is just replace the whole motor because Tesla hasn't been doing too many repairs on the motors or the batteries in the shops anymore. Send them back to a facility that has them open all day long and they can do it quickly and efficiently. It makes sense. The thing that came to mind while I kind of paused as I was realizing what was going on, there were a few Cybertrucks early on, in the beginning of the Foundation series, where Tesla kind of called them back for a upgrade. They would change out the front motor, and I'm wondering now. It doesn't say, but I'm wondering now if this is the same motor that was recalled. But it said inverter, and they should all have the same inverter. But the front motor on the Cyber Beast is different than the front motor on the dual motor. The front motor on the dual motor is the rear motor on. Sorry, the front motor on the Cyber Beast is the rear motor on the dual motor. Da, da, da. It's actually a recall that requires physical service. Yes, yes. It appears that the issue is stemming from a problem with the drive inverter. They all use MOSFETs, yes. Uh, The subject population includes certain model year 2024 Cybertrucks manufactured between November 6th of 23 and July 30th of 2024 that are or were equipped with the metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistors in the drive inverter, which is all of them, is it not? I guess it's this particular MOSFET. Uh, the affected population includes vehicles equipped with inverter part number family 18-02305, containing offset part number 1530063-2A-Bravo. So there's no way for you to know this except for let Tesla take a look at it for you. My camera's frozen yet again. I don't know if I want to mess with it. The inverter stops producing torque, which results in the loss of propulsion. Despite pressing the accelerator, the vehicle may not move forward accordingly. That sounds familiar. For those of you who don't remember, my car did something similar when the replacement motor failed, but it would inch. It just wouldn't go. It would inch. I did end up charging that lithium battery, and it came back to full health. So that was a plus. Um, what can I do about this camera to keep it from tripping? Turn your phone into webcam. No, thank you. For several reasons, including that will they'll use more processing power than we're already using. Send the camera preview to your screen. Do I want to do that? Uh, it says it is, but I don't see it. Change back. be the grid. But that's not something that actually changed the feed, is it? So maybe if we switch it to a 1080 feed for now, since it's freaking out about 4K, let's do 1080 30. It's 4 times less pixels to worry about. Wow. Okay, so there's the feed on the prompter. Uh, that looks freaky because it's a picture of me over what we're trying to actually see, which is the what you guys see on the screen. Just put it back. Put it back. No, don't hide the grid. Hide me. Yeah, there we go. The the button moves. Super weird. Back to you. All right, so yeah, so the 12-volt battery, the lithium is in good health. It was at 5 volts when I got it back and got it on the charger, got connected to it, and then at about 8 or 9 volts of charging, it unlocked and it was releasing electricity again, and then it charged for the next day and came back to 13 volts and 0.1 0.11 to 0.13 cell balance. It was in the order of millivolts, like 5 to 9 during the initial charge. I guess that some of the cells are just weaker than the others by a little bit. So anyway, back to the recall. Tesla started investigating the issue on August 5th, and by October 23rd, it had figured out the issue had been confined to VINs with this specific drive inverter. Ah, so yes, it was very likely that the hey, bring your truck in for a motor upgrade was this. They said there have been no collisions, fatalities, or injuries related to the issue. Also, when we think about all the red screen Cybertrucks we saw early on, this could also be that. Perhaps. This is the sixth recall on the Cybertruck so far, with accelerator pedals, improperly adhered bed trim, and problems with the front wiper failure, and rear camera recalls. I don't remember the rear camera one, unless it was a software one. Typically, we're able to see how many Cybertrucks are produced with these recalls, because it affects the whole fleet, but this one does not. Impacted units and figure the impacted units figure that the NHTSA releases. However, this recall only applies to certain units and is not an issue that's spread to every pickup that Tesla's produced. Yep. Ramping a new vehicle with this level of never before tech is not easy. Props to the team. Yeah. Unusual for Tesla compared to others. It's just not common with Tesla. Let's call it that. Moving on. We're looking at finally the Rivian Volkswagen partnership is showing us. Before we get to that, let's see if Inside EVs is put us on a different repeater. Looks like they have. So we'll close the X. The Ioniq 9 will have a lounge-like interior. I was hoping there'd be some previews. Oh, there we go. Uh, I guess we'll have to wait till later in the week to see it. Fine by me. But Kia and Hyundai have been going hard at it, so let's give them a chance, see what happens. So now, as I was saying, Rivian and Volkswagen have officially launched their new EV business partnership. The one that we talked about earlier in the year, where Volkswagen would give Rivian $5 billion, and it looks like we're seeing that already in the Scout, but I can't say that that's exactly what's happening, because unless they were working together before they announced it, then Rivian would really be coming in at the tail end of this, unless they were like a contract manufacturer before all this went down. Let's see. In June, we learned Volkswagen would invest up to $5 billion from a joint venture with Rivian. And on Tuesday, Rivian and VW entered into an agreement to create their new joint venture, Rivian and VW Group Technology LLC. The total deal size is up to $5.8 billion and is expected to start on November 13th of 2024. So it should have happened 5 days ago. No, 4 days ago. Through new partnership, Rivian and VW plan to bring a next-gen EV architecture and best-in-class software to both companies' future EV models. So Scout could still be a beneficiary of this. Um, but I don't think that Scout will show everything that Rivian could do for them. So here I was talking about the like the Gremlin style. I love this 3 Series from Rivian. It's quite attractive to me. Reminds me of like cars from the 70s and 80s. And then there's the R2 sitting right there as well. They're ready. Uh, Bloom said today's launch of the joint venture demonstrates want to leverage together in coming years. Oh, there it is. Yes, the R3X. R2, R3, and R3X. Newer models will cover all the relevant segments, including subcompact cars. Really? That's cool. The joint venture will be led by Rivian's chief software engineer, Team Bensed, and VW Group's Karsten Helbing. The teams will initially be based in Palo Alto, with 3 additional sites coming in North America and Europe. All right. That's an R1, new R1. I mean, it's still SUV sized and all, but I think this will do well, and it's a step in the right direction for making them smaller and more efficient. Yeah, so it's good to see this thing is finally making moves and it didn't just peter out like all the other agreements with Rivian. Thankfully, Rivian was able to keep the money almost every time. Uh, Continuing on, their financials are looking better. This one was just a quick little hit, but now that we've got it, I want to look at the actual price. Um, we found out the price of the Mega Blade way from Sawyer here. We've got um, load. So $75 for this on the Tesla online shop for the Mega Blade on the Cybertruck. Then let's go to Tesla and check it out. And then while we're there, I want to compare it to the Model X wipers. They're similar in that you can only get them from Tesla. They are custom built, and the channels for the wiper washers are in the blade. I don't know that's the case for any other Tesla. You make 4 interest-free payments of $18.95 to get your wiper blades. Hopefully, you don't need to buy your wipers on layaway. They're a safety item. Interesting that the picture rotator doesn't loop around; it just goes back and forth. Got an installation manual for the wiper arm. To ensure maximum performance, correct fitment, and visual clarity, replace your Cybertruck wiper blade with a genuine replacement. They don't say that for Model X because you don't have a choice. Accessories. Model X. Parts. Colors each. You got a left and a right. And knowing Tesla, the right one might actually be less expensive because it's smaller. Yeah, it is smaller. But in Europe, is it smaller too, or did they reverse them? On the new ones, they give you a grabber. So I guess in the new ones, it's not. Select style, left and right. I think it's 35 each, which is fine. It's not terrible. They both have shipping. Same payment though. No, 875, not 1875. And you can buy more stuff from Outlex too. They still owe me this one. They were out of stock when I bought it. I had to find the paper. Maybe they'll give it to me. Yeah, so 75, 35 times 2. 75. Yeah. So we were talking about electric motorcycles last week, and hey, good morning, Timothy. Good to see you. Yeah, almost. I'm just gonna paste and go here. Zero is actually planning for cheaper electric motorcycles, and they show off their first models. And you're like, oh, great! The $50,000 electric motorcycle is now 40,000. No, we're talking $10,000 for an electric motorcycle. Phenomenal, phenomenal. All right, so Zero Motorcycles, premium leading brand. That's right. They spent years pining for cheaper Zeros, but they're finally coming, and not just lip service. Not only did Zero unveil its first two lower cost models on a pair of novel platforms, but the motorcycle maker claims it will have 6 unique models, all priced under 10,000 in the US in the next 2 years. 2 years. 10,000 and under. As part of the brand's new all access initiative built around adding more affordable models to the Zero lineup. And they're not doing it alone. The all access plan is made possible in large part due to the success of Zero's partnerships, namely Zhongzhen, a leading Chinese manufacturer, and just them. The newly announced X line of lower cost electric motorcycles debuted today, starting with the Zero XE. The company is calling this the Future True Trail Bike. It's a tongue twister. And it certainly looks the part. On the tech side, it gets 4.3 kilowatt hours of removable batteries. I'm hoping these are Gogoro compatible or the Japanese thing. That way you can change them. Because that'd be kind of cool to see that here in the States. One of the largest removable batteries in the industry. So, no, it's not. That battery powers a 15.5 kilowatt or 21 horsepower peak rated air cooled motor that propels the bike up to 85 kilometers or 53 miles an hour. The US version will be off road only, while the European version will also be obligated for street legal use as well. All right, yeah. Hopefully, one of those 6 models is a street legal road bike under 10,000. All the Zeros I've seen at like all the EV meetups have been phenomenally cool. Perhaps most eye-opening is the XE model starts at just $6,495 in the US and 6,500 euros in Europe, an unheard of price for a Zero motorcycle. The new X line delivers the best performing models in one of the most exciting growth categories from the most trusted electric brand in powersports, says Sam Paschel, CEO of Zero Motorcycles. Our mission from day one has been to revolutionize the two-wheel transportation industry, and we will stop at nothing to deliver on that promise to the growing community of riders. So to go from the low end to the high end, I'm curious now if we'll ever see a two-wheel drive Zero, or if we've already seen it, because I think that'd be kind of cool to have a two-wheel drive bike. Uh, so there's the removable battery pack they were talking about, and that is definitely not the Gogoro standard, nor the Japanese copy. But the prices get even better with the Zero XB, carrying a mere 4195 and 4500 euro price tag. Of course, the XB is an even smaller bike, closer in line to the Sunroar or the Talaria in both look and raw spec figures. I consider the slightly smaller 7.5 kilowatt or 10 horsepower motor and the pint-sized 2.4 kilowatt hour battery, which is easily removable for charging. The bike also has a slower top speed of just 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers per hour. Closer to an e-bike at that point, isn't it? Zero races range at 47 miles. That's not bad. The time will tell how accurate that figure proves to be. Um, the problem with that is you're looking at what your helmet looks like, what the rider looks like, any encumbrances that you add to it. They will all affect the aerodynamics significantly. Just like its larger brother, the XE, the smaller XB will be available in a street legal version in Europe, but offered only in the US. I mean, that was coming with the US. Uh, I wonder if they could add pedals and make it into a moped, the XB. That would be sharp. Make an electric moped. And being electric, it might be an easier e-bike than than uh, than a gas moped would be as a gas scooter, or as a pedal scooter, I should say. That's part of what makes them what they are. Is they have the ability to be pedaled as mopeds. Let's see. They likely benefit from Zhongsheng's ability to offer cost-effective electronics such as motors and batteries, but they also carry signature Zero influences such as the factory-tuned suspension, high-quality TFT instrument panels, and clearly visible and highly detailed user interface, as well as precision throttle response. I'm excited for this. Electric, they said they are absolute. The X Line is absolutely the takeaway message from the EI CMA show. The rest of the Zero's lineup largely received cosmetic updates, new colorways, making the plan all access plan the star of the show. The new 6 new models in 2 years is certainly impressive, and Zero is well on its way with the first two offerings, the XB and the XE. Like I said, if they get something cheap and road legal in the States, that's going to be good for them. But awesome that they're getting it in Europe. Um, I would have loved to see Zero target an on-road model. Yeah, same. On-road model in North American market, the way they did for Europe. Though I understand that regulations regarding licensing provided a unique advantage to bring those bikes in as lower class homologated models with lower licensing restrictions. Perhaps part of Zero's plan for the other 4 models could include an on-road electric motorcycle in the US. Hopefully. As it stands, the XB and XE mark interesting new additions to the market, not because the form factors don't exist yet, but because they haven't existed from a company like Zero. You can buy a Surron or Talaria. It's not going to come with the same level of suspension, high quality screen, and same refinements in the software, or many other unique advantages that Zero is offering. This is a smart partnership. For many young riders that are drawn to these classes of vehicles, that won't matter. But there's no shortage of riders flocking to the Surrons and Talarias these days. But for the other riders who want to know they aren't just getting a basic Chinese bike, but rather a Chinese bike with more sophistication and refinements, there's something to be said for entering the Zero family. As for Zero's part, they'll certainly be glad to bring these new riders that wouldn't have looked at a $15,000 Zero before, but are now suddenly like what they see in a $4,000 to $6,000 Zero. Yeah, definitely. The question I have at this point is, now that we've had ourselves a political change, Zero is a U.S. manufacturer, to my knowledge. Have they done what they need to protect themselves from tariffs? Because that $4,000 bike could easily be an $8,000 bike using the 100% Canadian tariff as an example. Let's see. Any of these I haven't seen yet that matter to us today. 3 months of free supercharging and full self driving if you buy by the end of the year. Ford offering big discounts to close the year out. Yeah, we talked about some of them. Baidu and Geely-backed GU brand unveils Robo-X EV that goes 0 to something in under 1.9 seconds. I guess. Well, that's not a 1. Interesting. I'm curious the comments on this one. Looking forward to seeing what street legal models under 10K are like. Yes. The Zhongzhen partnership is dope. They make good bikes for very good prices. yet another miss by these off-road toys instead of having the option to use them for transportation. Adding fuel lights isn't expensive, and they already did it for the EU. I can't argue with that. I'm so disappointed. Another wait for it release of a bike with a vague legality in the US, so no real advantage over the Talaria, Suron, RFN, or and more partnered with. Although I respect a Chinese company, so that motors can come from there. The failure to make some models of these bikes immediately U.S. street legal is horrendous lack of foresight. I was expecting at least a 6500 model that I could ride to nearby trails at 55 or 60. I also failed to understand how large experienced manufacturers can miss this electric market so badly. Livewire, KTM, Husky, price to be announced after you order. Yeah, that sucks. And now Flying Flea. Where are your marketing analysis? Uh, Telling them something other than what us consumers are saying, eh? Are they serious? $6,500 for a 53-mile-per-hour motorcycle? Sounds like a tough sell. It's $10,000 less than their previous entry level model. I guess you can't have it all overnight. Let's see what we're looking at here. Yes. So this one is something we don't normally do here because I don't like the breathless future battery tech articles. However, this one has reached a level that is makes it more real. So Ampurus has shipped an EV battery that reaches 90% charge in 15 minutes. And that keyword there is ships. It's not for sale yet. These are the proofs that they're shipping to either manufacturers to help them build it or to customers so they can put it in their vehicles. Why I say vehicles? Because you don't need something that charges this fast, typically in a stationary use, unless they make it small enough to use like in a phone or something like that, phone or a laptop. So they've shipped a PowerPack's A sample EV cells to the U.S. Advanced Battery Consortium. So this is a battery group similar to like when folks were saying about every other week, oh, new battery, new battery, new battery, and then Elon's like, just send us some samples and we will tell you if we want to buy it. And we will buy it. Um, that was what I don't even know how long ago it was now. Time is just boggled. I want to say 5 years. Let's call it 5 years. Ampere's this is new SiMax cells. So Silicon Max cells hit an impressive 360 watt hours per kilogram in energy density, far beyond the US ABC's target of 275 watt hours per kilogram. Just blowing it out of the water. What does that mean for EV drivers? Simply put, longer range without a bulkier battery. And then the lighter battery, as we discussed on the Tesla Life show, lighter battery leads to more range, which leads to needing less battery. This is the reverse rocket equation. Burning fuel. All right, so these cells have a power density hours per kilogram. Oh, sorry, watts per kilogram power, not power capacity, meaning more efficient energy delivery. I'm not sure how the watts per kilogram compares, but the watt hours per kilogram is good. It's not like the best we've ever seen, but like if they keep the prices down and they charge that fast, oh yeah. One of the standout features here is the charging speed. The A-sample EV cells can go from empty to 90%, so 0 to 90. Typically, we measure this in 0 to 80 or 5 to 80, depending on what you want to do. So an extra 10% in just 15 minutes. So the 0 to 80, this exceeds the US ABC's target of 80% charge in the same amount of time. Yes. Uh, wow. So imagine what you could do to get to 80 if it only takes 15 minutes to get to 90. That's incredible. Empiric's internal tests also showing progress towards achieving 1,000 charge cycles. Hopefully they're cheaper. EV cells go anywhere from about 800 to 5,000 cycles, depending on what chemistry they are, how much they cost, and who's using them and how they work them. I think that the cells in my old pack were supposed to be good to 2,000 cycles, and I got them up to 500 before the thing croaked. It was still showing signs of life, but what happened was the internals of it, like the battery boards, they have a known flaw with moisture and humidity condensing on them and killing them. I still haven't wrote the tweet uh, saying that it's back. I'll have to do that. USABC is a subsidiary of U.S. Council for Automotive Research, US CAR. The collaborative technology company of Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. This US DOE supported collaboration aims to drive forwards the adoption of cutting edge batteries for EVs. So all of the classic big three. Ampere's been working closely with the US ABC and DOE on these cells as part of a $3 million contract awarded in May of 22. The delivery of these sample cells marks the final milestone in that development project, and Amperis is in talks with major automakers about adopting this technology more widely. This is going to be fun. Uh, we need more batteries to electrify all the things. To meet market demand, Amperis has agreements in place for over 500 megawatt hours of contract manufacturing, and this means that they're ready to scale up and get these batteries into as many EVs as possible. That's good to hear. Um, but it's important to do our steps, and so this A sample is important in that it'll allow the third parties to verify the claims and make sure that it does what they needed to do before they start putting them into production. Their CEO, Impersis CEO, Dr. Kang Sun, said with superior energy and power performance, fast charging, wide operating temperature range, and safety features, Amperis is continuing to transform the EV sector and other electric mobility segments as we scale towards high volume manufacturing. This is phenomenal. Were there no comments? Or did it jump? Exclusive 1568 on EcoFlow Pro Ultra. Black Friday deals. Okay. That's not that much off the EcoFlow Pro Ultra. Yes, that's what I've got in the garage. I've got the EcoFlow Delta Pros and the old Smarts, what are they called? The Smart Power, um, which is not enough. I would need the Ultra if I were to stick with the plugins. 360 in power density of 1200, getting close to aircraft specs. That's good. And uh, for aircraft, we need 400 watt hours per kilogram and 1500 watts. Almost there. So we could do like regional easily with that. We need to start to enable hybrid uh, and electric jets. Yeah. Versus internal tests are also showing progress towards 1,000 charge cycles. 1,000 charge cycles isn't adequate for aviation related needs. 500 might be okay for vehicles, 500 cycles and 300-mile range cars at 150,000 miles. I mean, if the price is right, or they have like a refurbishing plan, then 1,000 cycles isn't bad. You take them out at 800 or 700, depending on what safety factor you need for the aircraft. Uh, Condition them, put them back in there, or take them back, give them a core credit, and give them a new one. Businesses don't have any problems leasing battery packs. It's the individuals that can't handle leasing a battery pack. The key point is these advances keep coming. Maybe this one doesn't pan out. Maybe it does. But EVs are already superior to ICE in almost every way, and they're only getting more range, faster charging, lighter, and cheaper from here. Not to mention, as the power grid changes their fuel, also keeps getting cleaner. Yeah. Yes, coal's gone from generating 52% of electricity in 1998 to 16 or 17% now. Of course, gas has replaced a lot of the coal, but so have wind and solar. Yeah. In Europe, in Europe in 2022, solar and wind passed methane as the biggest generator at 22%. Natural gas 19%, coal 16%, and nuclear 20.9%. While China has installed massive amounts of solar power and wind, now 609 gigawatts of utility scale solar and 441 gigawatts of wind. If you combine them, they're already a terawatt. 1.5 terawatts of renewables just in wind and solar. Wow, that's incredible. And they're likely to reach 1.2 terawatts solar in a few years from now. And they're running their coal plants as grid backup at 50% capacity, prioritizing dispatch of solar, wind, hydro, and nuclear. They have 57 gigawatts of nuclear capacity. Good improvement, but I expect 2,000 plus full recharge cycles on this before it goes to market. Also, how many kilowatt hours are in the pack that reaches 90% in 15 minutes? That's a major missing piece of info in this article. Well, we're talking about cells. So the cell can do it. It's however many you want and however much you can power. Obviously, if it was a full-size EV pack, you would need 1,000-volt charging and probably 1,000 amps as well. Speculative that you'd be looking at megawatt. Assuming you know Cybertruck, Model S, Model X. Not so much for Model 3 and Y. So how many cycles can they withstand today? Good question. Less than 1,000, obviously. Spied at their website for the best battery, maybe. Balanced energy design 355 watt hours a kilogram and 805 watt hours a liter. Max discharge rate 3C continuous, 5C pulse, 30-second pulses. Charge rate, oh, I wonder if that's why they had the countdown on the Porsche. Interesting. 1C cycle life and 1,000 cycles and 90% depth of discharge. Oh, so they have experience getting to. It's like no big deal for them then. Um, Low temp 85% capacity retention versus at that's a degree symbol, I guess, like 20 degrees Celsius, negative versus 25 Celsius discharge. 360 watt hours a kilogram means 80 kilowatt hours of cells would weigh 489 pounds, or about the same as some of the heavier Porsche's flat six engines. It's also very close to the 350 watt hours a kilogram that cattle are getting from their latest traditional cells. Late Post have just published a very good article on cell development process promoted by Cattle's announcement. I think Cattle's latest announcement was their solid state batteries. I put it to talk about, and then we didn't. Proterra, rest in peace, electric buses use lithium tannatite cells, which they claimed could recharge 0 to 90% in an impressive 6 minutes. The catch, lower density and regular lithium ion. It seems that Ampere's has the charging speed and energy density sorted out. Great. Now, or not yet, durability. What about cost? We find out. Uh, yeah. All of this is trade-offs. Where was that sale at? Amazon. Oh, Anchor Solex is a similar situation as well. They're closer to a Powerwall though than the EcoFlow Ultra, and you definitely wouldn't want to put it in your house like that. It's quieter than the Pro, but you can still hear it, so you wouldn't want it right underneath. That's why mine are in the garage. Speaking of in the garage, it's not very sunny today, and we've been on it the whole show. Oh, we're still mostly solar. One of the panels is pointed exactly the opposite angle it needs to be, too. Uh, cool. It's their Black Friday. All right, so this is one I set aside a while ago and forgot to put it in here because I forgot to look at it. I just opened it and then left it. Offering a copy, which means that you didn't copy the link. There you go. You got it. You got it. I guess they took a nap. It got real quiet in there. All right, Tesla and Uber have partnered to give drivers $2,000 to switch to Tesla. And some of that money is coming from Tesla, so that's an advertisement. Are you new here? The article is all free below. I'll think about signing up. Wait, is this from Jan? I am signed up, Jan. Yeah, it's from Jan Yerkes. I am signed up. I guess I gotta log in. Tesla launched a collaboration with Uber, this time to give eligible Model 3 and Y buyers $1,000 in Tesla credits upon taking delivery and $1,000 in cash from Uber after taking 100 trips, which is faster than you would expect. Tesla credits can be used towards supercharging a new vehicle. Already, you just bought one. Uh, I guess if you have a fleet, or if you want a personal one, or if you just wear out the first one in 100 trips. Tesla service appointments or Tesla shop or upgrade purchases. Just for your info, Tesla Tequila is excluded though. Well, that's fair. I mean, it is a driving program. Anytime you promote a driving program, you generally want to exclude drugs and alcohol from it. Uh, the incentive is available after verifying eligibility with Uber through their system. Uh, find the button on Tesla's freshtesla.com/Uber website. If the link there gives a 404, type it, it exists. And Tesla has just some weird bug on their website when directed to it. We'll check it out because I actually am registered with Uber. Model 3 or Model Y. I'll sign up. Okay. I'm already signed up. I just gotta log in. 100 trips needed to be completed before February 15th of 2025. Still easily doable. It's November right now. And the deal is not available for used vehicles. That's unfortunate. But it makes sense. Tesla's all about new cars. They have used, but they're all about new cars. Oh, this one's not stackable. Sorry, this one is stackable. It's not used cars. The offer is stackable with the Tesla military purchase program, but is not stackable with other Tesla promotions. So you can get your military discount, but not whatever else is going on if you do this. Tesla promotions, including the Refer and Earn program. The site does not mention any region specifically, so we'll assume it's available worldwide. It's also not the first time that Tesla partners with Uber. Just this September, two companies offered officially launched the Uber integration for easier navigation and convenience for drivers on its platform. And back in January of this year, Axios reported that Uber is offering drivers incentives of up to $2,000 on its side for Model 3 and Y. So this could be up to $4,000 if you qualify for that other $2,000. We've reported on Uber's EV direction for a while now. Yeah, they've made a commitment. We'll see if they make it. And if incentives have worked, Uber now has 182,000 EVs on their platform today. It's good. It's real good. Wow. Nice. That's from Bloomberg. Recently, Uber launched a few new initiatives in the UK. All-electric Uber Green. Used to have hybrids, now only electrics. EV preference. Set the preference for EV every time. You have to be in the place that's got a lot of them, though. EV pop-ups. You might end up in London or Rivian R1 in LA and Miami and Dallas. Drivers get AI assistance for EV questions. EV mentorship program. Hear fans. I should not be hearing from a computer that should be idling. Oh, you know what? It might be finally doing the. It might be finally doing the playing the Spider-Man for her. Uh, all right, so no comments on this one. I think that's pretty cool. So let's try it out. Let's go to was it Tesla.com/Uber. Wait for those the Uber reward program. Choose your vehicle, get verified. I'd probably pick a Model Y if I were to Uber again. Eligible drivers who purchase a new Model 3 or Y receive a $1,000 can receive $1,000 in Tesla credits upon taking delivery and $1,000 reward from Uber after completing 100 trips. Tesla credits can be used for supercharging a new vehicle, service appointments, or select Tesla shop upgrades. Oh, that's why they worded it so weird in the article, because that's how Tesla used it. Uh, Offer available to active Uber drivers in good standing. I could get active and then be in good standing. Once your status is verified, you'll be redirected to the configurator. Use the same email for purchase as your Uber account email. I'm in luck. They're the same. Offer subject to change and may end at any time without notice. If eligible, $1,000 in Tesla credits will be deposited into your Tesla account after delivery. Receive $1,000 reward from Uber when you purchase an eligible Tesla vehicle delivered before December 31st of 2024. If you complete 100 trips before February 15th of 2025, not available for used vehicles. Buyer required to verify status with the Uber credential login, and then order only after being redirected to Tesla's order page. Offers not transferable, stackable, or redeemable for cash, and cannot be applied retroactively. Tesla credits cannot be reissued, transferred, or redeemed for cash, or used to purchase upgrade subscriptions. Like, so you can't use the $1,000 for FSD or premium internet connectivity. Tesla gift cards or alcohol. The offer is stackable with the Tesla military purchase program and is not stackable with any other Tesla promotions, including Tesla Refer and Earn programs. Review Uber's terms. I'll check this out later, just because I don't know what Uber's going to say about me or to me. So, sticking with Tesla, they have managed to reduce the power consumption of Sentry Mode. They're starting on Cybertruck, and then they'll work their way through the fleet, and it's probably just some efficiencies with the way that they are monitoring the Sentry Mode cameras. Right now, everything stays powered up as if the car was driving, and that can cost as much as 1 mile per hour of use. So if you have a 300-mile battery, you can run for 280 hours because at 80%, sorry, 20%, it cuts off. Um, yeah, so as part of the software update 2024.38.4, Tesla's finally included updates to Sentry Mode to reduce its power consumption. Da, da. Tesla announced earlier this year that they were bringing significant efficiency improvements to Sentry Mode by cutting power usage by 40%. Part of this is controversial, as we discussed last week. The easy, low-hanging fruit was to turn off the 12 volts, the power sockets, USB, all that, while the car's empty. Just a Sentry Mode deal. So we'll see how the rest of these improvements go. and I think they can do it though. Yeah, so that was the gist of that one. So, big news for MrSupercharger.com. Let's go to this one. So I've been talking about the V3 Plus superchargers for a while now, and saying I wonder when we're going to see the first superchargers, V4 superchargers. What are they going to be like? They also coincide with a theory of mine that the supercharger. I thought supercharger V3 was also the mega charger. I was close, but I was not right. Supercharger V4 is the mega charger. And this brings updates to the mega charging as well. So the supercharger mega chargers were likely V3 pluses, uh, but one cabinet per stall. The the V4 superchargers are 8 stalls per cabinet, and they can charge at 500 kilowatts for supported vehicles, not just 350. I knew 350 sounded stupid low, and it was uh, but 500 kilowatts. That's more in line with what I was expecting from Cybertruck, and not just Cybertruck. This will work with any 1,000 volt vehicle that's allowed on the supercharger network. So we've got like I said, eight pedestals per cabinet. The cabinets are much smaller. Look how look at their size compared to the V4 pedestals, dispensers as Tesla calls them. The V3 was much taller than this, and this is exciting. I can't wait to go supercharge on one, even though my car cannot handle it. Um, this is phenomenal. They were initially launched with a V3 cabinet, limiting their overall potential. V3 and V4 superchargers have been charging at 250 kilowatts for several years now. But recently, Tesla started a public trial at some locations with superchargers reaching levels of 320 kilowatts with the V3 cabinets. Oh, the camera's frozen again. Okay, but the display is not. Let's just refresh the camera one more time because I'm super excited about this. Guess we'll do 720, 30. That's as low as the camera can go. So, uh, 320 on some of the V3 pluses, uh, or regular V3s. I don't recall. They might have been regular V3s. This speed bump out of the 250 kilowatt zone was our first indication that Tesla was looking to roll out improved charging speeds, and I was kind of disappointed by it because 320 was not the 350 that the Cybertruck was advertised with. These new V4 supercharger cabinets, Tesla is ready to blow these numbers out of the water. However, not every car will be capable of charging at these 500 kilowatt speeds. Yes. Fun fact, Tesla's superchargers arrived with a charging speed of just 90 kilowatts. Just, it was phenomenal at the time, but just. Uh, at the time that the supercharger came out, everybody else was doing about 50 kilowatts to 75 kilowatts. So 90 was screaming. And some of those early cars can still only do 90 kilowatts of charging. Same way that some of the entry level cars can only do like 120 to 170. And older cars like mine can do up to 180. That plaid we had the other day though, it was just drinking down 250 for a good couple minutes. All right, so with these V4 supercharger cabinets, Tesla is ready to blow these numbers out of the water. The V4 cabinet. The V4 supercharger has been around for some time. It's the new one without the hole in the center. However, running those with the V3 or V3 Plus cabinets. Now the V4 cabinet has arrived. The V4 supercharger cabinet knocks that 320 V3 Plus right out of the park. It's a massive 500 kilowatts into the Cybertruck. Currently the only vehicle that can use that speed from Tesla. And that 500 kilowatts works out to a blistering 1,300 miles per hour for Cybertruck, or nearly 2,100 kilometers per hour of speed. Part of the charging improvements come from Cybertruck's 800-volt system, so we can't expect all these charging improvements to roll out to other vehicles. Not to older vehicles now, but I'm hoping that Juniper is 800 volts. I'm not counting on it, but I'm hoping it is. Instead, we can see the upcoming Model Y Juniper also arrive with 800 volts. With all the experience and knowledge Tesla has gained from the first year of Cybertruck, it could happen. It's the same factory for Austin. If the new Model Y achieves charging speeds comparable to the Cybertruck, it could deliver remarkably fast charging times. Being lighter and more efficient than Cybertruck, Model Y could achieve significantly higher miles per charge rate at the same 500 kilowatts. Absolutely, if it can cool itself down. The new V4 chargers will support vehicles with 400 volts and up to 1,000 volt architectures, so people with non-Tesla EVs that support 1,000 volts will also be seeing some drastic improvements. We've got a video from Tesla, which is just exciting. We will look at that in a moment. The V4 Megacharger is the same cabinet. In his brief video, Tesla also showed off the updated V4 Megacharger dedicated to the Tesla Semi. The new MCS system can pull 1.2 megawatts, so this right here is a good reason why they didn't put NACS on the Semi. Aside from the chance that a Semi would show up and block a supercharger, the NACS connector is only rated 4 megawatts. So, I mean, it could probably do more, but it's only been tested 2 megawatt. But MCS was designed to deliver multi-megawatt. MCS 3 delivering, 5 megawatts, 3 megawatts? And MCS 2 that Tesla uses right around 1,200 to 1,400 kilowatts. So 1.2 to 1.4. There we are. And we know Tesla's going to overdrive it, just like they always do. Question is, will MCS 3 be ready before they go volume? The upgrade for the Semi is going to be big, making it a prime option for companies looking to do short and medium haul trucking, nearly 90% of the trucking infrastructure in North America. So what's important about this is that it's now faster than what Tesla promised. They always said that the truck would be waiting on you and not you on the truck, because if you are waiting on the truck, that's costing you money, lots of money. And this, I think, just allows more scenarios. And it'll work better for OTR, not because it lacks a sleeper. But if it can charge even faster, I think that will allow them more scenarios to slot into, like hot seats, for instance. Um, the V4 rollout will start early next year, with the first sites already undergoing permitting. Most interestingly, the new V4 cabinet also has reduced the complexity of the superchargers even further. The V4 cabinet powers 8 posts, which is 2 times more than the V3 cabinet, which was also more than the V2 cabinet. And the V2 and the V1 cabinets were very closely related. A smaller footprint and less complexity means faster installations, which means more V4 sites faster and more stalls per site. These new superchargers have the potential to ease congestion and help eliminate the negative perceptions of slow EV charging. Let's look at that video. It's Tesla, so it's got music, but let's play it. 19 seconds. Our V4 supercharger, even faster charging. Well, maybe it's not the same. That picture they showed was a little bit bigger than this. Tesla charging. And it loops because, it's a 19-second video. Let's look again. Before we look again, let's look at that. So we got this shape's kind of squared, and the other one was rounded. I think that was the mega charge. Maybe not. Maybe that was like the view on X. Is that Lee? Happy Sunday. That is Lee. Happy Sunday, Lee. Good to see you. Okay, so let's see. Something went wrong. Try reloading. Well, we know it's there because we just watched it. I think it was just a really close look at the top of this one. Yeah, there it is again. Yeah. 1,200 miles an hour, 1,300 miles an hour. 8 stalls. 500 kilowatts. That's what we'll talk about. Uh, Fast food just got a new says the Cybertruck account. I don't think I can go to the bathroom any faster. Cybertruck says I think you can. Time to start training. Yes, exactly. Teach us your ways. 500 kilowatts. 500 kilowatts, 1301 miles per hour. That is phenomenal. Kyle Connor looks like a Cybertruck can pull 500 kilowatts. Cross country drive once there's a V4 corner. You know it. You know it. He absolutely will. Justina says, Raphael says, the game has not only changed, it has teleported. It's gone plaid. Andy says, I need a Cybertruck now. I can't go potty before it's done. That's true. Uh, we'll be able to charge 4 or more semi at once with up to 1.2 megawatts. I guess they could do that as well, but the way I see it is they would just put in one per semi and charge them all flat out. There's no charging like a Tesla supercharger. There's a Cybertruck. It was probably a V3, but could be V2. Excuse me. Site video nailed it. That'd be a pretty big utility transformer. It doesn't have to be because remember you compare these things with Tesla Megapacks and buffer your energy input before when next year. Unlimited power. uh, this is good. This is good. Okay. So with that, I want to thank all of you for your time. Thank our channel members for your patronage, and I will catch you all on the flip side. At some point, I need to sit down and work out the video for uh, the rear motor uh, fluid issue on the large rear motors, and our experience getting our rear motor swapped twice, and the battery pack change. So don't look for that this week, but I will work on it. I'll catch you all on the flip side. Thanks again. Happy Sunday.